All right. Okay, Rhubarb. So, yeah, this is very awkward. And I apologize. Okay. Basically, what happened was... Oh, they finished qualing like around an hour ago. Hi. Richie ended up getting first, and Jeff is sitting near 64th seed. Don't remember the exact location, but he's sitting near there. But yeah, so what had happened was I got UTC time wrong. I thought night still had another hour. I didn't think that it was basically right as soon as Michu ended. So yeah, that is all my fault. Don't blame any of the organizers. But this is why I dislike UTC. Like if it's in what's it called? I mean, I know it's best for everyone around the world, but it's like I also would like to see something that's at least in like American time zones, so that way I know to convert it correctly. But yeah, that is why we're here. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I do know UTC, but it's just always having to constantly make the calculation, especially when you're doing something else. Doesn't necessarily lead to 100% accuracy. But yeah, I apologize. I'll be here for like, I believe another hour. Need something. I apologize, but I really don't know how to. I really don't know how to kind of start this off. It's very awkward. JD actually did have to go, so it's just back to me commentating. We both thought that we were ending. Oh, I mean, it's been a while since I last made a mistake with UTC. Mainly, maybe disconnecting it. I'm back to reading my pacer script. I mean, the last time I really messed up was like when it was for a match, and I thought that so-and-so UTC meant like the next day, when it actually meant that day. It was when I had to play Louis for CTM 1 month back in 2019, I believe, and I got the time 24 hours wrong because the day was listed in UTC. So yeah. Hello Penguin, welcome. Welcome back everyone. I am so sorry. Diddy did actually have to leave though, so you guys are just stuck with good old me. Knight has a pretty good game going on here so far. This could result in a max for his first reported game. The Jake, welcome, welcome. Maybe we can get you a Discord companion. It's funny, it's actually just like a gap in the schedule. I think I'll be fine. I just need to kind of get over this weird set of awkwardness right now. Probably whenever more people get in the chat, and I'll be able to get back into the swing of things. I just legit thought I was done. It's very pog. But here we go. Transition for Knight. Really slight misdrop, but a really powerful 650 score going into level 20. What does 18 PB and 19 PB mean? Okay, so basically you have your different levels that you can start on NES Tetris. Mainly the two primary levels that are used for metrics at the high level are level 18, level 19. So level 18 PB means your personal best starting from level 18. 19 PB means your personal best starting from level 19. There is a difference as level 19 is faster than level 18. So that's why the two PBs are separated. And I mean, you could technically go for a PB for every individual level, but the main metric that is used is 18 PB and 19 PB. Becky, what other games do you enjoy playing or is it all Tetris? I really like Soulsborne games. I'm a big fan of JRPGs. I used to play a little bit of FPS before I got into Tetris. Oh, Knight didn't get that piece over. Hold on, before I continue. All right, nice getting that over. And he should be able to bring this down. So yeah, this is definitely safe max pace. All right. So yeah, the last shooter I played was, I mean, I haven't played a shooter in a while. I guess the most recent one was Black Ops 4 that I technically played, but if we're just talking about like overall, like last played Modern Warfare 3, Spec Ops always holds a special place in my heart. I also played Soul Calibur 6 and yeah, just mainly JRPG and Soulsborne games. So right now, Knight just is looking for 3 more Tetrises, and he would have maxed out here in his first 15 minutes of the qual. He does need to be a little bit careful here. He's set up for a center well. He still has plenty of time. There's 1 Tetris. He's got to be really careful here. And ooh, he had lines to burn. He's got to go for a flat burn. All right, perfect. He has 1 line to burn. It looks like he might go for right wheel. He needs an L. He needs a J. He needs a J or an I. He needs 1 more eyepiece. There it is, and there it is. Max out for Knight after almost choking it here. Have I played Warriors Orochi 3? Yeah. I played Warriors Orochi 3, and I played a little bit of Warriors Orochi 4. But that's going to already put Knight at 35th seed with a max. No kickers so far. But amazing game. Yeah, not Vandy. I deleted Raid. It was that time only. I normally put mine at clock down, but I don't pay attention to the clock. I feel like clock down is just easier to gauge how much time you have left, which is important for some later qual decisions. When's my qualifier? Sunday. And actually, Knight with that bumped down Brian, and Johan is now on the bubble for silver. And Chris Bidwell is 1 place away from being knocked into what's it called? Knocked into the bronze bracket. Is Toby up yet? Taking a brief break before starting. All right, just let me know before he starts, and I'll swap over to a 2-player scene. Okay. Oh yeah, Moodus. I'm just saying, like, getting bumped down to bronze right now. Rest in peace, the back-to-back for Knight. Why is Knight hybrid? Because sometimes he plays Daz and other times he taps. In some games he does a little bit of both, which is what players considered a hybrid playstyle. Hybrid is fake DAS? No. Fake DAS is just a meme for that some players in the community and apparently some articles too have given me because of my DAS control, where it appears like DAS wouldn't be able to do that. So, I mean, I enjoy the meme, so I'll continue to perpetuate it because it's funny to me. Just like hyper jolting was fun to perpetuate. But I mean, now hyper jolting kind of, But fake DAS, I'll gladly perpetuate that meme. Who is this Ivory underscore 99 person? Early. I mean, does that mean that Amazon has better than authentic DAS? I mean, that's like that's the joke, is that my DAS is better than quote unquote, or my quote unquote fake DAS is better than authentic DAS. That's like part of the meme. I guess by that logic, the fake DAS would be the DAS you order off of Amazon, except for it's like 5-star rated. Is hyperjolting quick tapping? Nope. Hyperjolting was purely a meme, kind of coined by Arda to symbolize my movement back in 2019. In 2019, that instance, I did hyper tap, although it wasn't too fast, but I don't hyper tap now. And that's just the movement that I do whenever I quick tap. Toby has started. Wait, what? Will he be highest DAS seed? Who knows? There's still other DAS play. I mean, if people actually wanted me to do a DAS masterclass, once I've got enough stuff, then I could. The main issue is I just need to get something squared away so I have consistent content going out on my channel. Where the heck is that's the right channel, right? Okay, what the heck? Alright, there we go. That was weird. Which was being weird. Sharky wins my qual? My qual is Sunday. Are there any DAS players higher up in the acquaintance standings right now? Nope. Well, there was going to be a masterclass run by JD. I'm not sure if anyone remembers, but there was like a survey of JD should host a masterclass on Tetris, and I guess it didn't really go anywhere. But I mean, whoa, Aaron, there's the spin masterclass that me and Coffee did. Let me adjust something. So it was just something really minor bothering me. You mean on the masterclass website? Oh no. I don't know if there was one for the masterclass website, but 15 players calling at once. Currently the prize pool, I do not have that information for you, Fireby. Well, what determines a masterclass video to you, Aaron? Because I'm actually curious. Said this Sunday. Not necessarily. For example, I have a voiceover master class, even though it's not from the master class, you know, like the master class. It's just, that's what they call it. And I mean, it's for you to master certain aspects of a subject. So then if you have a master class on, you know, drawing the anatomy of hands, it doesn't have to be on the masterclass website for it to be a masterclass. Now, it could be self-proclaimed masterclass, and the quality of that depends on how, you know, you interpret it. But otherwise, it could very much just be a masterclass. This would be... This is neither. This is NB. Okay. I'll pull them up. Well, what determine? Okay, then if you're talking about a definition of a master, what would you say determines a master and what they do? Anyways, oh wait, we have a pretty amazing game over here for Toby right now. Wait. Oh yeah, he's already been playing for 8 minutes. Knight and Toby actually with some both good games. Yeah, I mean, I'd say that there's plenty of people, like, in terms of if I were to make a Tetris masterclass, I don't think there would be anyone that disagreed that I would be a master of DAS or a master of the game. Now, obviously, there are definitely players that are better than me, which I guess by that metric, it would be, you know, better masters, because you can have multiple masters in one thing. Unfortunate top out for Toby, but does get a new kicker at 641. And we have two hybrids on here and a tapper. Interesting. Roll and tap versus dash seems to be much bigger advantage in qual than matches. The advantage for tapping and rolling would probably be much bigger in matches than in quals. Thing is, the reason why there isn't too many DAS players in the top 64, or rather on like the higher parts of the leaderboard, is mainly because there isn't that many high-level DAS players anymore. A lot of high-level DAS players have either moved on to a different playing style, whether that be rolling or tapping, or they just don't play. And so that's, you know, one reason to kind of like explain, even though, yeah, more DAS players have signed up for CTWC, there is not as high amount of high-level DAS players as there are high-level tappers and high-level rollers. So with that being said, it is more likely that Daz would be on a level playing field in qualifiers as opposed to in matches. Even though matches, there is a little bit more nuanced things that could affect the performance of a tapper or a roller. But overall, this Daz will be at a disadvantage. And even though they're at a disadvantage during qualifiers, it's not as big as a disadvantage as it is in match play. Because like I said, a max out for high level players, they achieve them fairly often. It's not, something that is, super, super difficult, once a blue moon, like once a month kind of deal. It's not like that with your high level players. And you take a high level Daz player, the thing is, high level Daz players have to have good execution. They don't have good execution on that day that they're playing, then they will be unable to put up good scores, or rather put up several maxes. So by that metric, that's why you're going to see fewer Daz players in the top, primarily because there is just fewer high level Daz players that have the consistency with how they execute during their plays. But return winners, Sofa is not competing this year. So all three players are playing. Knight is hiding from the sun. He accidentally he saw the time in UTC and thought it might have been the time in his local time. So then it would be night. Unfortunately, it's daytime, and so his powers are weakened. Well, yeah, that's true, but at the same time, like, it still remains fact. We got a good start over here for Toby. Once again, another good game in the development right now. I don't know. It depends on if I decide to stay in competitive Grandmaster. It really depends. Because I mean, after this year, it's a whole another year between the next CTWC. Plus, there's unless I'm content with making silver or bronze bracket, or at least trying to perform well in silver/bronze bracket. Which even then, silver/bronze could be gold and silver this year. Anyways, Toby transitions at 597. Knight, all that for a glass of water? See, you have come to face your enemy, the sun. Welcome back, Knight. What's my tap high score? Irrelevant. I mean, a 4 max cutoff is still doable by Daz. I mean, I've done it. My dude went to the gas station to buy a water bottle. I'm proud of you, Knight. Staying hydrated is important. Wonder if you can hear me. I wouldn't say it's necessarily easy Aki, but it's not super hard for certain players. But before I catch hate, I'll stop. Because a lot of people don't like whenever I say a particular set of phrasing. But Shinu's Law, thank you for a kind word. I do think I'm a good Daz player, but everyone is gonna always be biased towards themselves, towards theirself. So it really depends on if the community thinks I'm one of the best Daz players. That is, you know, actually fully Daz. Anyways, Toby, I'm not sure if he'll be able to get a max off of this one. This is going to be a difficult... Yeah, he's gonna have to get one in a 29. Wait. Ah, that one burn. He's got to set up for 2. Or set up for... Dang. Still, 966. Amazing kicker for Toby right here. 20 minutes in. I mean, don't underrate your kickers, especially with how things are this competition. You know, not being able to get the max does hurt, but having a good kicker could be the difference between you and, you know, you going up another seed. For example, Moja, who we saw play earlier today, they ended up getting 6 maxes, but their position didn't change from after they got their 5th max because their kicker just wasn't as high as Jerpadude or Neminators. When would one consider themselves hybrid DAS? I mean, I don't think hybrid DAS exists. I think it's just hybrid. Yeah, but you do definitely want a good kicker. I mean, this year, kickers are actually kind of important. What at the end of the day, most of the seeding for their gold bracket is mostly arbitrary. I say mostly because obviously you're going to want to avoid some brackets. Like, you probably want to avoid Hydrant's bracket and Teaser Dog whenever they qualify, or JD's bracket. I mean, you would want to avoid going up against them in round 1. It's going to be hard to avoid a top player. I mean, that's given because everyone that's qualifying is a top player. But there are definitely, you know, certain players who either you wouldn't want to go up against in particular, or you wouldn't want to go up against them first so you can at least make it out of round 1. Because being put to losers in round 1, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. Hybrid's a myth. I was totally tempted to put hybrid jolting for my playstyle. I thought it would have been funny, but hybrid jolting is the meme. I should have put fake DAS. I think that would have actually been funny. Hybrid jolting as a meme is kind of dead, but fake DAS, I will gladly perpetuate that meme. If his kicker wasn't logged, that would probably be on one of the people that is handling the spreadsheet. Put fast as your playstyle. No, wait, hold on. Fast as my playstyle would mean wouldn't that mean that I am using like Techiapar or something? Estoy bien, ¿y tú? Kind of rusty on my Spanish. I'm sorry. My dad's fluent, but I decide to choose more Eastern languages to study. Yeah, Joseph is entering. Him and I are both calling on Sunday. Nope. Joseph is Sunday. Rory, Chris Forrest and others have been doing it for me. I mean, they have other players or other people that are doing this. I'm just doing my job to try and provide right insight. What languages do I study? Currently, I'm studying Japanese. I start taking it a little bit more seriously after CTWC. And I'll have to try and do a little bit better with my Spanish. But yeah. Do you think there's an advantage or a disadvantage knowing what score you need to get? It depends. For me, I already have a set goal of what I'm going to get. It's not like in particular, maybe last year it would have been an advantage or disadvantage depending on who you are. But this year, you just have to go for maxes, which, I mean, yeah, you won't know how many maxes you have to go to unless you unless you're playing later. But if you already set yourself up a goal, then unless for whatever reason the amount of the cutoff reaches your goal, then it's better to just focus on your goal. Can I do the translator for Corian? I am not proficient enough in Japanese in order to be a translator. I can barely hold basics conversations. And like very barely. I haven't spent much time learning Japanese as I've learned a little bit of Spanish. Mainly because I've been practicing for CTWC and hosting Gauntlet event. Night off to a fire game here. Toby at 5:59. You guys are asking a lot of questions. Give me a second. I'll answer Grandmaster's question next. But right now I want to focus on these two games we have going on at the top. Let me see what's going on with Zach's stream. See if that's on my end. Yeah, but this is very comfortable pace over here for Knight, and not equally comfortable, but fairly comfortable pace over here for Toby. The issue is he just has to get his board back into a position to where he can score and not necessarily worry about topping out because of a drought. And I think he did an excellent job of doing that here. Now, Toby just having to take some burns. Toby is well above pace of what you want, ideally, for a max out. So he does have room to burn, but he's got to survive this and needs to get a piece over there. Oh, nice. Great getting those 2 pieces over. Decided not to take the L burn. Interestingly enough, however, he's bringing the stack down. Still has a massive advantage in terms of pacing, but Knight, fortunately, is going to top out at 870. Brand new kicker for him, but it's not going to be a max. Meanwhile, Toby, it's now his turn to see if he can max. Right now goes into level 24 at 739. Judges is Zach Stream offline. Oh no, Toby also in some trouble here. Toby's also going to top out at 700, so... Alright. What is my goal for this year regarding max outs? Originally, it was 4, but now I bumped it up to 5 because I want to 1-up Quaid. Or there's everyday link. Also Java. Sharky say something in Japanese. Konnichiwa, watashi wa Sharky desu. Which I said, hello, my name is Sharky. Wait, what the freak? I normally say Michael, but let's see. Sharky, what's my favorite ice cream flavor? Cookies and cream is pretty good. Also like birthday cake. Honestly, asking a question like that is unfair. Who's your favorite Tetris player and why is Martz? Question mark. Michael, when I'm doing the qualifier, I'm doing it Sunday. Are any of the judges in the chat right now? Because it shouldn't be on my end. Because Night Stream and Toby Stream are perfectly fine. Becky, what do you think of the players? What do you know about their play and their previous experience? Any strengths to each player? Ooh. Aaron asking the questions. So, the player that I know the most about is going to be Knight. Knight is a prominent player for the aux chords in Gauntlet. He originally started off the season with like a 997 and then quickly became a very prominent reason why the aux chords went for a 9-2 record up against other teams. Knight tends to go for center wells, and he generally does a good job of maintaining them. However, he also has some very consistent play, so it's not unreasonable for him to get, you know, a high amount of maxes. It's just a matter of getting the right pieces. And of course, with his ability to tap, he also has a little bit of 29 play and some higher maneuverability and some sticky situations in 19. Toby, this is actually my first time personally commentating over him, but I do know from what I saw at CTM whenever he participated, he can do some excellent survival, and he's a player that definitely is skilled. I believe, you know, 1.2 PB up there. A lot of German players actually qualing today. If I'm not mistaken, he is also a Guitar Hero player, which could have participated or contribute to his ability to hyper tap. I don't know entirely, but and then Zach is the only player that I am completely unaware of. The only thing I know is that they're from the Latam community. So they do have a max out, but this is going to be my first impression. So Should be interesting to see how things go as he starts off with a 500k transition. All the redacteds, good lord. Okay, well, I'm caught up. Is there a hyper tapper who can move center wells and use center wells as well as Quaid? I mean, they probably could, but they won't, because center wells are just not as efficient as a way to play as going right well, or heck, even going left well. Just because you don't have a stack cohesiveness. Circus of Flies, welcome. Not gonna lie, Circus of Flies, when I read your name, I thought of the book Lord of the Flies. That was a pretty interesting book. But Zach over here, 691 and 24. Really comfortable game. Does hybrid mean Daz tap or I believe both Zach and Knight are Daz tappers if you're going by that definition of hybrid. I don't think there's anyone that would roll and Daz. Unless they switch grip. Because I don't see... Dazzing with a rolling grip is kind of Papega. Well, yeah. I know there are players that can switch grip, but... I'm talking about, like, using your roll grip to Daz. That's kind of... Wait, why would Laser Monkey use Daz with his roll grip when he can tap? And he was a pretty fast tapper as well. Really? I disagree. But a good score over here by Zach, 809. Toby at 760, and Knight with a couple complications. He's gonna have to clean this up here on 23 if he wants to try, or 24 if he wants to try and get a max off of this game. But I think, especially if you're a tapper and you have the ability to, a left well is definitely a lot better than a center well. We can get into a debate about it. It's just a lot of, core stacking principles you have to forego when setting up a center well, and when you get into certain situations, you don't have that stack cohesiveness to mitigate those situations like you would with a left or right well. That's going to be a top out for Knight. Toby at 804 and level 24. He needs to survive this, and then this is a pretty coast to max out pace, if you will. At this point, Toby just needs around 4 Tetrises and maybe, some change. I mean, the only advantage that Centerwell would have is the ability to play 29 with DAS and potentially with other things, just because you don't have to try and throw pieces too far. So like getting prepared to set up for like go into 29. And sometimes that might be the only thing that you have to do in order to max. Toby, a triple here will be good for him. But he's going to do it in style. Knockdown Tetris, and there it is. First max for Toby. And with a 996 or 966 kicker, he has a very solid seed right now. He's definitely looking to get more. But Toby is definitely going to want to try and get another max here to give him a lot of security. The way that the quals have been going over this past week, not even, you know, one max is safe for gold, which, I mean, the fact that I have to even say that is absolutely insane. If you're talking about Mark Migas, I'm not sure, but Mark Meyer, yes, he is participating, and he qualified earlier this week. Yeah, so far we are almost an hour in for Knight, almost 30 minutes in for Zach, and a little bit over 30 minutes, or a little bit under 40 minutes for Toby. Johnny qualifying? I honestly don't know that either. I feel like he isn't though, because of issues, to put it lightly. Gleiser top 8 is likely to require more than 6 max outs. How many players are competing in total? There are over 200 players attempting to qualify. Our gold bracket will have 64 players. Silver bracket 32 and bronze bracket 32. Will I play if I land in silver bracket? I mean, yeah. I guess I'll just be commentating and playing. Zach running into a rough situation here. It's not going to be necessarily easy to max this game, but it's definitely doable. Back transitions at 473. We try to get Harry as commentator. I mean, it's already locked in. I mean, it feels like Harry, unless the event is, you know, IRL, doesn't really have too much to do with it, which is understandable. Knight about to transition. Here's another opportunity for his second max or an improvement on his kicker. I mean, Polar Knight, I do it all the time. I mean, a lot of people that are like part of the community, like they can tell you I can self-commentate and play competently too. And I have a couple of videos of me, you know, getting a 1.1 with self-commentary, getting a max with 600k post. As it stands right now, based upon what you see with the cutoffs, you need a 809 to make it into the gold bracket, which obviously is going to change. Then you need a 4 or 810 to make it gold bracket, and a 470 or 469 to make it in silver. Is there a world record for that? I mean, it's an arbitrary world record that I lay claim to, but I mean, people, I guess, are offended at the fact that I lay claim to an arbitrary world record just because I think that something's impressive. But can I? Yes, I can commentate on my opponent too. Oh, no, I'm being serious. Like, I've gone up against Dog. I've gone. People that know, people that have watched me do self-commentary know I've commentated up against my actual opponents. Will one max out 900 plus kicker make it? It's hard to say. If players continue to perform the way that they have been performing over the week, it's unlikely. I mean, well, Pumpy, you gotta, it's, you know, a bunch of nuances. Naya here at nearly 800 in the 25. He would like to fix up his left side, but this is definitely a doable max, if not a max he can coast to. Jacobo, it could be worse. You could be like Minor Tyler, who I got a 1.1 on. I mean, to be fair, I did get 600k posts on that max that I got on you, though. Anyways, Knight, one Tetris away. And he's playing it conservatively. He's set up, just waiting on the long bar. Takes a safety double. And there it is. Tetris for Knight, giving him 2 max outs for this evening or afternoon, morning, wherever you are. SGW, most likely. Are you talking about my Discord server? As in like my personal one, or the one for the event I run? Thank you so much for letting me know, Bidwell. There we go. Look at that. We got all 4 players now. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Yeah, so the CTWC Discord server. Can someone grab a link to CTWC Discord server? Preferably one of the mods. I mean, nothing really happens in there, just except for some small discussions. Mainly, it's just so the organizers have easy access to all the players. Are players cracked? They just are. Understandable, Pumpy. I just thought it might have been public because it's basically just in CTM. Anyone that finds the invite can just join. Wait. Is this an actual game for Alejo? Or is he still warming up because his timer's not started? Okay, thank you. Honestly, I didn't even look at the height 0. I just saw 18. I didn't see the clock running, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? True, Wing Fryer. Who will win silver bracket? I mean, you can't tell who would win silver bracket because we don't know who's in silver bracket, like confirmed. There's still more than half the players left to qualify, so I can't tell you who would win silver bracket. You consider switching and rolling as what? You consider switching to rolling as it's unlike hyper tapping, not as straining to do. That depends on if I decide to still play. I still have, I mean, there is a good chance after this year I'm retiring competitively. Unless, until I find myself in a comfortable position where I want to dedicate more time to Tetris. I want to focus more so on my career as a voice artist, you know, for voiceovers and voice acting. And then, of course, playing my role in the community for being a tournament organizer. So, if I come back, I don't know if... I mean, if I want to try and win CTWC, I'd have to roll. I mean, there's no exception. But to be like, you know, Daz player and potentially have like the best qual or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, neither Batfoy or Broden are playing. Yes, Broden did retire. Is there a prize pool for silver bracket? I would assume so. Last year there was a prize pool, so fortunately I cannot confirm that. Are there any notable players who aren't going to make it into the gold bracket? If you want to talk about veterans, currently you have, unfortunately, Jeff is a veteran that's not going to be able to make it, unfortunately. Just had a rough call. SQR is looking like he's unlikely to make it. Joey Parker, aka Indie Rocker, Buko, Chris Brady, Anthony. And then there's some players that are at the bottom of the max out list where we don't know how the weekend's going to go, so I can't tell you whether or not they'll make it. And those are some of the players so far that have qualified. Anyways, we have a pretty good game over here going on for Toby. 619, and a game that is a really good game that's developing for Knight. Alejo has just started his first game, and Zach is continuing to play on whatever number game this is. I mean, it's more likely that in the future crowdfunding will be used. I'm going towards the method of crowdfunding for Gauntlet next season. That is correct. Batfoy is not playing in this year's tournament. What's my goal with voice acting? Do I want to do English dubs or anime or anything really? Personally, I want to do narration. I want to narrate books, but I also want to go into all facets of voice acting or voice work. So whether that be, you know, voiceover for narrations, voice work for commercials and advertisements. Like if I can, you know, be able to do like any dubs or, you know, do that in voice acting, I'd love to. But that's currently my goal. Who do you think has the best neck of the competitors? I do not pay attention to players' necks. Kind of weird to just look at a player and be like, that's a nice neck. Anyone can beat anyone on a good day, DMJ. They could just be having a good day, another player having a bad day. Podcast incoming? I mean, if I had a podcast, I don't even know what I would talk about. Now, you're gonna have some sports shows that is going to be happening. So I'm gonna try a lot harder for the Insider. Since I won't be focusing my energy towards playing competitive Tetris, I can focus more on creating content to help grow the community. But podcast probably not happening. Everyone's just trying to get a good game going here. Leho actually does have a good game. It's looking 600k transition possible. If I'm not mistaken, Alejo won the Latam event, so their entry fee to participate was paid for. What's my favorite sports team? I actually do not have one. I do like watching basketball, but mainly I like to watch it for good basketball. Now, if I was, I even for, you know, teams for my own event, I can't decide on my favorite team. I do have some teams that I prefer and I like to see succeed, but I can't decide on a favorite out of, you know, the teams that participate in the Classic Tetris Gauntlet event. NBA basketball rules. Really good transition over here for Alejo. So far 645 and level 20. Prize pool for the Go bracket set. Unfortunately, it is not set, but you can expect it to be no less than what it was last year. That's all that I know. Alejo's taking his time, just trying to get back into scoring position. Fortunately, he transitioned high enough, so all this digging that was done in the earlier levels was mitigated. Now he's going to have to start scoring Tetrises, hopefully not take too many more burns. Beautiful O pieces right there. And beautiful Z spin, loving it. About to skip this one. Tetris for Alejo, 737. And this is Alejo's first game, if I'm not mistaken. Alejo, only a couple Tetrises away from my max now. Like Knight's gonna take another break, had too much exposure to the sun. Alejo just in need of 3 Tetrises here. Has 3 lines to get. Oh. This could end up being a. Oh no. Alejo might have to score a triple. Oh no. Alejo's just gonna fall just short of a max. He's gonna have to get some points on 29. No burns. Oh, he needs 2 lines. And Alejo with the first game being a 998. Alright. Well, now it is actually time for me to go. Hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. Hope it was entertaining, insightful, and yeah. But I'll see y'all later. Peyton's gonna be taking over for me. Who is Richie? Tetris Ruins. So, anyways, I'm your favorite underwater host, Sharky, and I'll see y'all, if not tomorrow or something. I'll see y'all on Sunday.